plan that was laid out, it looks like there was a lot of thought put into the process and like how we're going about the same thing in a different way, but I didn't really see anything that pointed to like a significant investment in more shelter, other than purchasing the Crossroads shelter, so there was that, but what is being done to like greatly like increase the number of shelter beds and income restricted housing and that kind of thing,
Right.
and doing anything to close the gap between the number of people we know who are experiencing homelessness and are at risk of it and what the market in Denver right now is choosing to just come up with. What is the city doing?
Okay.
So was that in there?
Let me get back that to Bretta, who might have.
I think we can bring back more information. The budget lays out some of how that money's being spent right now, but we could bring that back to the next meeting, go a little more in depth on that. Be happy to do that.
But is it spent like that, or just you just saved it?
I'm gonna get over here in just a minute.
Violence, trash, and all that, all those things are in the same thing, like when I look at shelters, and this is also good for security all over the malls and everything. They're very shitty toward the homeless to the point where they will really walk up and start arguing with you. You argue back with them and they're gone, you're bad. And they really do this, and there's nobody putting them on check. When we get pissed off, we throw the trash down. It's just a big old ball, like T circle and circle. It revolves around everybody not getting along also. It's just the employees, the security, and employees of the homeless shelters that really are coming to big crazy fun. It comes to your work trying to, obviously, we call push them away. Get them out as far away from town as you can get away. And that's the word that security and all the people are getting. You push them, start and push them.
I promised I'd come back over here to this side of the room, so, yes, sir.
So there needs to be some type of capture on it, so that, the shelter system doesn't work. Where nobody wants to stay in warehouses.
And if you speak up just a little bit.
It doesn't work, no one wants to stay in warehouses, but if those shelters that exist, so like St. Francis, for example, had everything that is needed in one spot, and then the communication links between everything. So if it's something that you need, your release papers from Department of Corrections to get into the housing, you don't have to go, they don't tell you, get on the bus, go across town and get it. Everything's right there. So you got RTD passes, you got the vouchers, you got mental health, you got addiction, you got housing all in one place. And maybe those shelters, like if I became homeless today, the first stop would be St. Francis Center to get you going, to get you, so you don't get into a rut of staying.
Okay. Yes, sir. Got it. Okay. I'm going to take a couple more, and then I'm going to move on to the next topics. Yes, sir.
All right, I was just going to be brief. I already mentioned with facilitators, like who are they? In reference to people who need air, and you can't get that from certain places like shelters. And where are these vouchers that people speak about? Because they don't exist. When you need food, and everyone knows you can go overnight without eating and possibly get something the next day, you can put them off. But like, what about when someone needs air? And they have a machine to refill that, but they don't have a place that's going to facilitate that. And 211, 311, or any of the online websites, they do nothing in lieu of him not having oxygen. We have to rely on the kindness of others to use the electric from the CPAP machine and whatnot to refill that machine. And the only place we've been sent after DHS was back to the hospital where the doctor said he wasn't eligible for a respite bed or anything else like that. I don't know what makes you eligible. When you take your last breath.
Sure. And who's the facilitator with the electricals? There's enough electricity for these people who need the oxygen machine.
I'm going to make you the last one, then we're going to move to
Inside of the shelters.
I just want to say that one of the options for housing short-term is very viable because, again, remember that there are different classes and different types of homeless people. You're not going to, this is tents. You need to establish several locations so that those individuals who are self-sufficient, not necessarily addicted to drugs, but to those people who are accustomed to being on their own, who do not want to be with individuals which are either mentally incapacitated or have any different types of diseases, or we don't want to catch anything contagious. Several tent city locations or many locations, you can provide transportation through RTD vouchers. You can also provide a dumpster. You know, you can also provide some of those porta potties so that they can actually have their own location, which actually benefits the city in multiple ways, because one, some of the people don't want to see the homeless people, so guess what? They have tents. You don't have to see them or their obstructions. Two, you don't have to worry about them defecating upon your lawns, because now you've provided them with a place to be. Three, some of them are actually really good at self-maintaining themselves, and they're actually pretty clean, and that will also allow them to have a shelter, a safe place to hold their belongings, so that they may actually go out and get those said jobs, so that they're not such a drain upon our Denver resources, but also it will allow them to be out to get the facilities that they need, to get the help that they need, to get the jobs that they need, to be able to pay off some of their debt, to be able to just breathe, but most importantly, to stay out of some of your hair, which is what you want. But in essentially, you've kind of given them their own little space within their own little communities, which you've actually done via your tiny house project. You know, not everybody, you're going to actually get different types of camps. You're going to get those working class people that are actually there doing what they're going to be doing. You're going to get some of those viable people, but in the meanwhile, you're actually going to give some of those people with no hope. Yes, we understand the weather gets cold. Yes, please provide, you give us everything else. Please continue to give us the resources we need for our houses. We're self-sufficient. When you throw out your carpets, when you throw out your blankets, we're the ones who go pick them up. I mean, really, when you throw out your trash, we're the ones who pick it up and recycle it. So let us do what we do, just provide a dumpster so that we can either properly dispose of it, but give us these tent locations so that we can get out of your hair, because some of you don't want to see us anyways.
Okay? I want to move to access to the rec centers. Do you have someone from the Parks and Recreational? You're going to tell us about that. Perfect.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Johnny Valencia, Operations Coordinator with the Administration Office. And
Teresa King, ASA for Recreation Administration.
so one of the many resources that the Recreation Center of Denver provides, amenities, access, our goal is to provide access to as many people as possible that want to take advantage of the recreation centers. So to do so, we have a program that's called PLAY, which is Parks and Recreation looking to assist you. And it's a financial assistance program that can gauge anywhere from 20 to 90% of the scholarship that will provide access to amenities, showers, locker rooms, workout equipment, indoor swimming pool, outdoor swimming pool, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. So the process is really simple. You guys can visit any of the 30 recreation centers across Denver. Front desk staff are aware of the program. They have all the paperwork required. They'll walk you through step by step, let you know what's required, what you have, what we can take, and they'll work with you. They'll act as the liaison on site through the folks who actually process the application. We respond in turn, either by email or in person, so that we can let you know what we're able to help out with.
Let me take questions. Yeah, please.
Add a little bit to that context. One, Clay is expanding some ways that people in homelessness in particular can be eligible for the program, and that's much to credit of the same Lyle lawsuit that created this forum as well. So as part of the settlement between the city and the plaintiffs, there were a couple of barriers to the PLAY program that Homeless Out Loud and the plaintiffs identified. One is IDs. It required IDs. Two is it required demonstration or proof of income. So what the lawsuit did is a couple things. One, so for if you don't have an ID and you're experiencing homelessness, that's a big lift, right? For identification purposes, now any number of homeless service agencies who provide a photo ID, those photo IDs can be used for the PLAY program to prove who you are and that you exist, what IDs do, right? Two, for demonstration of income. PLAY, I think you said it covers 90% to 20% of the kind of membership costs. So there's still some costs associated to play, you need to demonstrate income. A couple of things. One, those same agencies can produce letter on letterhead that verify that you're getting income so that it's easier to do. So if you're going to St. Francis Center, you're going to the coalition, there's people there who can write a letter for you vouching that you're making income. Two, I think day labor pay stubs should fulfill that piece of the application too. Now those two pieces have been, the lawsuit did good to kind of create ease of access for this program. I don't want to lead misunderstanding that that's all that's needed. The applications are still the discretion of Denver Parks and Rec, so you're still going to need to engage with the recreation center as well. But just wanted to kind of provide why are we introducing that to you today? Is because there's a couple of things that make getting that membership easier, and that membership opens up access to basic needs of the locker rooms and showers, but it also opens up access to being able to participate in a rec center, in the weight rooms, in the programs and classes, much the same way as all citizens could participate. So I'm Chris Connor, by the way.
And let me see if there's a question.
Two things. Are you guys able to bring copies of a checklist of all the materials that people need to have if they show up to a parks department and want to apply for the play program?
We do have a sample that we can pass around. Unfortunately, we don't have copies for everybody, but we're happy to pass out the copies we do have for folks just to review. The application has been, revised a couple different times. And of course, our staff is always open. If there's something that's on there that's not necessarily what can be provided, ask the staff members at the center. We're happy to work through, whatever we need to be able to help and provide that access.
Okay, the second thing, I for quite some time now been trying to get a clear answer on what the average cost is for somebody who is no income or very, very low income who's trying to apply for that. Do you guys know the answer to that question? If somebody comes in who has either no income or very, very low income, are they going to be paying $40 for this year pass? Are they going to be paying $100, $10? What are they going to be paying?
It kind of depends too, right? Because a lot of the folks that apply for the membership, they can be persons with disability, and so that'll put them into the price range. Somebody with a disability that came into our recreation center and applied for play can be eligible anywhere from 20%.
Again, deflecting the question.
I would say the average just for an individual though that came in with that is probably looking maybe the 60-70% range for discount, and then off of the annual pass for a person with disability, which is $119 for the year. So you're looking probably like ballpark, 40. Yeah, you can do monthly, you can do an annual pass, and if you do the annual pass, you're probably looking at like $40 or so a year.
So if you do monthly, could you pay like $5 per month or something like that?
You can. The big stipulation that we run into with that though is to do the monthly, it has to be done with a credit card. Now, folks that obviously don't have a credit card can do a Visa that will work with the system that we have. We've had great success with some of the shelters who can provide those or have, had donors, etc.
So maybe we need to think about is there a way to make it because it's your plan. Yeah. Okay, but that's helpful as an average. The other thing, when it comes to that form, would it be helpful to get emails or phone numbers that we can text a copy of that form to?
Probably email.
Would that? Okay. So if you've got a piece of paper and you want either follow-up information on today, or you want that form from the rec center emailed to you, put your email on that little piece of paper and make sure that we collect that. Let me come over here, this gentleman.
Just a quick question on the forms.
Yeah.
Are those forms uniform throughout the city and county in Denver, or do they vary from rec center to rec center?
No, they're uniform.
So if they were emailed to a central place where people could come by and pick them up, they would apply to...
Hard copies are available at each of the recreation centers. The form is also available online on our website, the denver.org/recreation. You can go online, you can review it. If you have questions, stop into any recreation center or front desk staff will be happy to assist.
Okay, great, appreciate that. Couple of questions?
I'm glad you guys are here from the rec center. I visited a couple. I've been to the one on 20th and the one at Colfax and Josephine, and there is a world of difference there between the showers. And the showers at the Colfax and Josephine, are great, like best shower I've ever had. But the ones downtown at 20th Street, it's like a prison shower. You got the same institutional fixture, it takes like 15 minutes for that water to warm up. And if a person needs to take a shower before they get in the pool, that cold water is, it's gonna dissuade them, and it's just wasteful. It wastes gallons of water that it comes up from the basement or whatever. And y'all should definitely consider new fixtures and a more water-saving heater.
Yeah. No,
You guys got that, right?
Yeah, to be honest with you, 20th Street, beautiful facility, it's very, old or rustic, if you will. It is something that we review year-to-year basis, those are things and improvements that we make. Some of the centers will go through to replace like the water boilers to get those water, to the temperatures where they need to be. So definitely on our radar, appreciate it.